Hey everybody! Hey. Welcome to Hashtag Pastor Besties. I'm Nicole.
I'm Melissa, and we are really excited to be here with you.
We are super excited.
Yeah.
Today we are going to do something a little different on Hashtag Pastor Besties. Instead of interviewing somebody else, we're going to have them interview us.
Are you ready?
I hope so.
What if we say something embarrassing?
We always say things that are embarrassing.
That's true. That's true.
Today on Hashtag Pastor Besties. So today our special guest is Jessie George.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Jessie is a seminary student at Garrett Evangelical Theological Seminary in Chicago.
Evanston.
She's a first year, in Evanston, also known as Chicago to other people. And she is going to ask us some questions from the perspective of a seminary student. And we're just here to answer them. So we're like, this is exciting.
Should we? We don't know what's coming.
No, we don't.
It's kind of exciting and amazing.
Totally amazing.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay. I have a really easy question to start off.
Okay.
I get the easy ones.
Okay. How did you become Pastor Besties?
Oh my gosh. Such a good story.
It was a good story. We met on a trip to Church of the Resurrection. Nicole didn't know that I didn't know the person who said that I knew.
Yeah, they met like on social media, which is sketch. Don't meet people on social media.
Say that.
Don't room with people on social media unless people know them. They could be serial killers. I got lucky.
Me too. Hey. We both got lucky. We became besties.
And we bonded over our love of Bravo reality TV and Jesus and sparkly things. Yeah. And then out of that, we hatched a crazy plan to be Hashtag Pastor Besties.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What's one piece of advice that someone has given you that has stuck with you since the beginning?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got this. So, I remember my first semester of college. I was a religion major, and I came back, and I went to my pastor, and I was like, all this stuff I'm learning, I had no idea. I just couldn't handle it. And he was like, I was expecting you to come in and talk to me. And the thing that he told me was, everybody has a suitcase. And in that suit, you are in charge of what you put in and take out of that suitcase. So if somebody tells you something and you just can't handle it, you don't have to put that in your suitcase. But there are things that you will take out that you've outgrown or you just don't believe anymore, and that's okay. But it's your decision what you put in and what you take out. And that was huge for me because it gave me permission to believe what I wanted to believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was huge.
When I was answering my call to ministry and I went and talked to my pastor, I was like, I can't be a pastor. I don't know enough. I have so many questions. I have so many doubts. I have so many fears. It's just not going to happen. And what he told me that has stuck with me forever and ever is that if you stop asking questions, that's when you have a problem.
Ooh.
Because if you think that you know all the answers, then you clearly don't. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thank you for passing that along.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. I will keep that forever. What encourages you the most? Or if it's like a person, a saying, a quote?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I think what I find encouragement in most is seeing people connect with Christ. So when I see somebody learn something new about Jesus or understand the Bible in a new way or just experience God's grace new, that will feed me for all of time. You know what I mean? On the worst of days, I'm like, okay, I can do it. I can keep going. That's what encourages me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also think that's a very pastor answer.
It is a pastor answer.
So
I'm a pastor. I don't know if you knew.
What?
Yeah, I'm on this show called Hashtag Pastor.
Me too. So I totally agree, and I'm with you on that.
Yes.
The other thing that I would say that maybe not be quite as pastoral is like when you've preached a really good sermon and you're like, I crushed it. Or like you had a really good Bible study and you were like, yes. Like those moments, I mean, people...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so it's not pastoral in that you feel like you have pride about it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Okay, but it's okay to be proud of what you do.
I put a lot of hard work into that sermon, and it kicked ass. Like...
Did you just curse on our web show?
Probably.
Okay.
Has it been the first time?
Whoopsies. Yeah, I think it was. It's fine. We're just going to move on.
Sorry, not sorry.
Kids, don't say the A word. Say booty instead.
Booty God, booty. Anyway.
Okay,
Oh my
next
gosh.
question.
We're giving such good advice.
We are crushing this.
Yes!
What has been your greatest mistake that you've made while in ministry?
Oh, all of them. So many.
I think, without going into detail, just anytime you've maybe hurt somebody's feelings, I would say I do that unintentionally, I hope. But anytime somebody has felt let down by the church, even if you feel like the decision that you made was right, and that was the way it should have been handled, but they disagree and they feel hurt by the church, that is the most painful. When somebody leaves the church because of you or because of your leadership, that hurts. And it might not have been, it wasn't necessarily because I did something mean to them, but it was interpreted that way or whatever. But that's the worst of all time. I hate that.
I had a district superintendent once who, when I was going through a really rough time in ministry and just trying to I don't know, I guess justify decisions that I made or just talk through, reminded me that I can do whatever I want within reason, obviously. I just have to be ready to face the consequences. So in particular, it was around receiving a gift to the congregation. And he said, you are absolutely 100% within your rights. You can do this. Are you ready for the repercussions? And I thought I was, and I wasn't. And so I don't know that I would do anything different about how that situation happened. I just would have figured out how to prepare myself a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, that was a tough question. It was a good one, though.
It was a good one. Also, I fail all the time.
Oh, me too. I don't like to talk about it.
I do.
I know you do. That really bothers me, but it's fine.
It's okay.
I probably just need to listen to you more.
Well, I mean, we're all going to fail, right? So let's just acknowledge it and talk about it.
All right. I don't like that, though, but it's okay. I agree, but I don't like it.
It sucks sometimes.
It really does.
Like, in the middle of it, like, I mean, there's times when I'm not thinking, yes, I'm going to fail so hard. It's going to be amazing.
I can see myself on the downward slope, and it's going.
It's going to be so awesome.
Belly flop into that failure. No, I don't like that.
No, I get it. It's all right.
Has there been, have you made a mistake that that you're glad that you did?
Oh. Yeah? Sure?
It turned out, at first it was, a mistake, but then now, looking back, it's wow, I'm so glad that happened.
I'm sure that there is. I can't come up with anything in my head right now, but I'm sure that there's, times that I learned from a mistake, and that I was happy that I learned in that moment.
Sure.
I can't think of anything that where I made a mistake and then I was all right, that turned out great. I'm sure that's happened too.
Yeah, I think that there's certainly been things that have, failures that I've had that have led into better ways of doing things. A specific example, I can't come up with anything.
We'll ponder that and maybe write it in the comments.
Yeah.
Of the episode when we post it.
Okay. How has your theology changed since you've been through seminary and are now in a congregation?
So much. Oh my gosh.
So for me, when I went into seminary, even when I went in, my theology changed a lot during seminary. I didn't realize how much it was changing as I was there until I was really out. Being out of seminary, one thing that I think is really important about seminary is that you learn the rules. I think that you have to learn what the rules are. And when you leave, you learn how to break them. I don't think you can break the rules until you learn them. Because otherwise that's just carelessness. But I remember, I was just, earlier this year, I was at my preaching professor's retirement, and we were sitting in his office, and he was like, "What have you learned since seminary? Like, what have my teachings taught you?" He was a great preaching professor, really great, great worship professor. And I thought for a second, and I was like, I learned of everything I had to unlearn from seminary.
Yeah.
Don't say that to your preaching professor, because he was like, what? And I was like, I mean,
your whole life's work.
I learned how to translate it to my context. And he was like, yes.
That's a better answer.
Yeah.
That's a better answer.
I just translated that for you.
I think for me, my theology changed so much in college and in seminary. Wow. I can't even talk about it really, because it was so much. But I think for me, the greatest change that I saw was just a love of social justice that sort of has bubbled up inside me that I think I was just unaware of before. You're living in your own little world. I lived in a small town. It was like predominantly white, middle class, a great community to grow up in, but I didn't see a lot of poverty and homelessness, and it didn't really take time to look at what was going on around the world. And I think being outside of that bubble in college and in seminary really opened my eyes to the work that the church has to do. So that's probably the biggest change that I've seen. But oh man, if you had known, if you had known me in, early college, or even, right before seminary.
Yeah.
Totally different. I was a totally different person.
Oh my gosh.
Not in a bad way. I wasn't but my theology was different. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even, have you ever gone back and looked at early sermons that you wrote?
I looked at I listened to the first sermon that I preached when I was in seminary, and I was like, God bless those people.
But you thought you crushed it, right?
I did.
You were like,
yes.
oh yeah, I'm made for this.
Down. That was the name of the sermon.
Pencils down.
It was there's parts of it that was really good, and I was like, oh sweetie, you have so much to learn. But I wonder what 20-year Melissa is going to listen to some of the sermons that I preached, and if 20-year Melissa is going to be like, sweetie.
Well, I go back even from a year ago in sermons that I thought were like, oh, that was such a good sermon. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that was,
crushed it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this has been so fun. Thank you so much for your questions.
You're welcome.
Anything to wrap it up? Maybe one final question to wrap it up.
Yes.
Oh, she's got the book out.
Why did you choose to serve in the United Methodist Church?
That's a great question. So I grew up United Methodist, but when I went to seminary, I made a conscious effort to really explore other denominations to make sure that this was the one that was right for me. I didn't want to be itinerant. And I just kept coming back to the Methodist Church because I love the Methodist Church. I love what it stands for. I love its heart for social justice. I love me some John Wesley. So really, this was just the place that I had to be, the place that I was called to be. I tried to leave, it wouldn't let me. So, yeah, my heart is strangely warmed.
Oh, it's adorable. I also grew up United Methodist. I will say that some of my formational experiences didn't happen in the United Methodist Church, but actually probably in the Assemblies of God Church. Yeah. and I never left the United Methodist Church. And I went to a Presbyterian seminary. No, not seminary. Oh,
I was like,
college.
what are you talking about? That's not true.
No, it's not true. I went to a Presbyterian college. I went to a United Methodist seminary that was formerly EUB. So I've got like a whole mixed mash of stuff in my arsenal of theology. For me, the United Methodist Church, what I love the most about the United Methodist Church is our collaborative efforts together. Yeah. The work that we do together, even when we don't agree. I love being a part of a denomination where Beyonce is a member. I mean, that's not why I'm United Methodist.
I mean, it's a little bit.
But that Beyonce is a member and Rush Limbaugh is a member. That George W. Bush is a member of the United Methodist Church along with Hillary Clinton. I mean, so you've got these political extremes, ideological extremes, and yet we're all part of the same church.
For everybody.
And that's what I love, that as frustrating as that can be sometimes, because it can be real frustrating, that we all get to be at the same place and at the same table.
Fun fact, I went to church camp at a United Methodist church camp with Rush Limbaugh's niece. What? We were bunkmates. Just saying. Yeah. That's just a little Methodist fun fact for you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, this is great. So much fun.
Yeah. So if you have questions for us, if you'd like to see us address a topic on a future episode, or if you have questions for Jessie, I mean, as a seminary student, we can do an episode with Jessie, too, about questions about what it's like to be in seminary.
Yeah.
We've got so many things to talk about.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.